let's first start with how we even came up with this idea.
Yeah, so first of all, good evening, everyone. I didn't expect all these people to show up. So first of all, this was actually a concept idea of State Senator Antonio Hayes of the 40th Legislative District here in Baltimore, so give it up for him. And also with the support of Senate President Bill Ferguson. And so they came up with an idea that there was a disjointed comprehensive plan of about 16 neighborhoods along the West North Avenue corridor. And what they wanted to do was synthesize those plans and create a forum where community could come together and then identify those public-private resources to galvanize, or more likely catalyze, economic development along West North Avenue. And so with that and the community, they came up with this idea, which I fully call the State of Maryland's West North Avenue Development Authority for Baltimore City. That's the long, legal name for us, but yes, that's how we came up with it.
Well, Chad, I was talking about this event.
Oh, this event. Hey, now you need to be specific with me.
My apologies.
Well, this event happened because we was in Annapolis at MBE night, and I got the aluminum mic down in this thing. All right. Man, what's up with your mic? You paid for these things. Hello?
It's fine. You're fine.
Oh, it's not? Is it working now?
It's
All right,
fine.
cool. So, backtrack. We were at MBE night in Annapolis. Who has attended MBE night in Annapolis? Really? See, Sheree. So, it's a really great night where a lot of the black legislative members of the General Assembly get together and support businesses to network and hear opportunities about state procurement. So after that, Devin and I went and had some Italian. I think he had pasta and I had pizza. He had a beer and I had wine. And when you drank alcohol, we came up with this wonderful idea that we're doing right now. And I actually forgot that we had agreed to it. So when he sent the email, I was like, oh snap, Teresa and Christy, we get ready to do this event. So that's how we came up with it.
He forgot two things. I don't drink beer, I had old fashioned. That's why it's old fashioned. That's the theme of the night. And then the other thing is, more of the story is, if you tell me you're going to do something, Devin Jackson will send an email. Those of you who know I'm sending emails to, you know what I'm talking about.
All right.
All right, let's hop right into it, Chad.
Yeah.
Short-term, long-term strategies for West North Avenue.
Yeah, so short term, what we want to do, it is. Y'all can hear it? Okay. So short term goals, one of the things we've done is for our first initial 3 years, we have 6 focus zones. The 27 to 2900 block of West North Avenue, which we want to concentrate housing development. 95% of that block is actually vacant. Next is we want to encourage faculty, staff, and students at Coppin State University to live near that campus, right? Create a college kind of atmosphere that you see with Johns Hopkins, one of those institutions. And then also further down, we have an area near the intersection of West North Avenue and McCullough, where we want to turn that into a restaurant and commercial zone. And then one of the biggest things that we've done, we invested $1 million. So a joint venture, MCB Realty, David Bramble, and then Alex Aaron, I believe he's somewhere here in the corner with Blank Slate. We invested $1 million, which they'll be announcing soon, of bringing a grocery store to West North Avenue. So people in West Baltimore don't have to depend on the shoppers at Mondawmin Mall, right? And I'm a really brutal, honest person. And one of those things is to really start the catalyst for economic development along West North Avenue with those particular focused areas as a short term. Long term, we have a vision of creating West North Avenue as a destination manufacturing site for black businesses. This particular area of West Baltimore is on the cusp of many of the old historic West Baltimore neighborhoods that were housed by blacks and Jews. And it is the epicenter of redlining. which was replicated across the country, right? And so we as a people, as beautiful people as we are right here, we really, it's not about, hey, I'm gonna talk about how you can get opportunity for our grants and our loans. However, this needs to be a passion. This needs to be a mission. And if Governor Moore can invest the money that he has vested in our authority, if Senator Hayes can be the champion for an area of the city, the 40th Legislative District has 56% of the vacant residential and commercial blight in all of Baltimore. All right? We have some of the poorest neighborhoods of Poplarton. And if we can change that around collectively, not just about making money, we can make an impact for other black people across the country who are in neighborhoods that experience redlining or had highways go right through their neighborhoods, like the highway to nowhere, and split their neighborhoods and catalyze and decentralize investment in those neighborhoods. So that's short and long term.
Okay. So Chad, I want to just clear this up too, because myself, I was guilty of this myself. A lot of people think that WNADA is just about construction, right? And those are the only grants or RFPs that you guys do, which now I know isn't true. But can you tell us about some of the things that aren't construction related that WNADA's doing? Yeah,
so some of the things that aren't construction is that we support businesses to start up on the avenue. And that could be, like recently we are awarded Habish Flavor. Is she around here? I saw her walk in. So we awarded her $500,000 to acquire 2 commercial properties. Oh, there she go. Give it up for it. Stand up. Because one of these things, there you go. So we awarded her $500,000. So she's going to use that to leverage to acquire 2 commercial properties, turn that into a food co-op to address the food desert. And it'll also be, I think, some similar like a cafe kind of thing or something for folks that will be able to enjoy a sit-down eatery restaurant, but also build black wealth through this food co-op. We've also invested $500,000 in Style for You Boutique. I'm not sure. Oh, there you go. There we go. So, I think her shop currently is out there in Towson, and what we wanted to do was, I'm game for stealing other businesses from other jurisdictions. And so she's going to open up a clothing store for women, manufacture those clothes, and so that's things that are just generally not construction, but also like green space development, also investing in, we invested $2 million to bring OpenWorks west. That's a maker space in East Baltimore. And so they're going to be setting up right beside Coppin. And the congressional delegation matched that by $2 million. So they have $4 million to bring that to our area. And then I would say the food hall at the Mill at North. We paid for all of the kitchen equipment for those 6 black female vendors that are setting up at 2636 West North Avenue in the Walbrook Mill Apartments. So we fully funded all of their kitchen equipment, which was about a $25,000 grant each. And so for me, I tell people, we have a comprehensive plan. However, I want you to read the comprehensive plan because it's important to your application. But whatever your dream is, you have to figure out how to align that with our comprehensive plan. We have been so conditioned in responding to state applications, and you ask a state official, what do you want me to submit, right? We don't do that, and that's been kind of challenging for our folks, right? We're saying, read the comprehensive plan, and it has what we're looking for. Like, I like ice cream, and nobody has ever proposed an ice cream store, right? That would probably get a grant, I'm just trying to tell you. All right,
All right, since you brought it up, I'm not going to ask you about ice cream, but because we are talking about some of the people who are grant recipients, what's coming next? What's the rollout? We don't have to get super in the weeds of it right now, but give us what to expect in the next rollout, a few things.
The current round or the round we get ready to do?
The $20 million.
The 20 million.
Yeah.
Well, good.
I think that's what everybody's sitting here with. The end of this, he's waiting for.
Yeah. All right. So let me talk about the 20 million. Well, first of all, the General Assembly has finalized the budget. I did get the text message from the boss. The governor, and the General Assembly. So the governor had proposed for our agency $22.5 million. We're coming away actually rather good in comparison to other state agencies. So we only took a $1 million hit. So we will have $21.5 million for our budget. And that's a significant increase. We started our first fiscal year with 11.4, then went to 17.5, and now we're at 21.5. That is just really indicative of the small and phenomenal team that I have, which I have to give a shout out to later. But for the $20 million or close to $20 million in grants and loans, let me tell you what my philosophy is. So for example, this past round, everything is dictated based on the political environment. And one of the things that the governor had made a priority last session was supporting Black women businesses, supporting businesses for individuals who are re-entering our society, addressing public safety, and then affordable housing. And so many of our grants went to addressing housing last year, economic development. We actually fund $1.5 million for public safety along West North Avenue. I don't know if anybody has driven past West North Avenue in Penn lately and has definitely seen how that's changed. That's our $1.5 million investment that the city should be doing. But yes, I'm very blunt about things. And so for this year, one of the things that has come out is obviously we have a budget challenge. All right, let's just be real about that. We have federal workers that are being impacted. Right? And so I would say that a creative approach would be teaming up with a laid off federal worker who's always had an idea of starting a business. Right? One is we're helping to address that federal worker become reemployed. One, we're establishing a business, right? That's just one idea. The second thing, obviously, we still have a housing production issue here, right? And so for us, it's always going to be housing. On the economic development side, it's still going to lean toward how we support, being blunt as always, how we're going to support Black women businesses, right? And making sure that we bring some parity to that, right? As for other types of businesses, I would say those things that are going to increase sales tax, income taxes, and property taxes, right? You're addressing a vacant property, that's going to address the property tax. You're bringing in a business, that's going to help with sales tax. If you're bringing in a family for residential, that's going to help with income tax. So when you're submitting your application, it's like in a lecture, make sure that you address that your application is contributing to increasing property, sales, and income tax. That would be very helpful for your application.